Here's something you probably didn't expect to hear today. Bananas glow under ultraviolet light. Not just a little. Under the right conditions, they shine with a bluish aura that looks like something out of science fiction. But why? They're not radioactive. They're not coated in chemicals, they're just bananas. So what's going on here? Why does something as ordinary as a banana start glowing like it belongs in a nightclub the moment you switch on a blacklight? At first glance, it sounds like a prank. Something you'd see in a TikTok video and immediately doubt. But the phenomenon is very real. You can test it yourself with a regular UV flashlight and a ripe banana. The yellow peel turns strangely luminous, glowing with an eerie blue tint. And here's the twist, the glow isn't random. It tells a very specific story about what's happening inside the fruit. Because when a banana glows in UV, you're not just seeing light. You're witnessing chemistry in action, the molecular breakdown of life, playing out like invisible fireworks just beneath the skin. This strange glow isn't unique to bananas. Many organic substances can fluoresce, emit visible light when hit by ultraviolet rays. But the banana is special because of why it glows. The story behind that blue shimmer involves one of the most essential molecules in all of biology, chlorophyll. Yes, the same green pigment that lets plants turn sunlight into energy. In fact, the whole mystery of the glowing banana begins not with bananas, but with leaves. Because to understand why this fruit glows, we first need to understand what happens when chlorophyll dies. And that's the journey we're about to take. From plant biology to quantum energy states all wrapped in the skin of a banana. Ready to see the world in a new light? Let's peel back the science. Let's rewind to where it all starts, with chlorophyll. This molecule is the reason plants are green. It's also the reason bananas are green when they're unripe. Chlorophyll is a solar panel at the molecular level. It captures energy from sunlight and helps convert carbon dioxide and water into sugars, the fuel that plants live on. But here's something you might not know. Chlorophyll is unstable. It doesn't last forever, and when it breaks down, it doesn't just disappear, it transforms. As a banana ripens, the green fades and yellow takes over. That's the moment chlorophyll begins to break down atom by atom, and in that breakdown process, something fascinating happens. Chlorophyll turns into a group of molecules called catabolites. They're like the molecular ashes left behind after photosynthesis burns out. These catabolites don't do photosynthesis anymore, but they aren't useless. In fact, one of them, known scientifically as FCCs or fluorescent chlorophyll catabolites, is the real star of our story. FCCs are what make bananas glow in ultraviolet light. These molecules absorb invisible UV radiation and re-emit it as visible blue light. That's fluorescence. It's the same principle behind glowing highlighter ink or certain scorpions under UV. But in the case of bananas, it's not artificial. It's a natural consequence of the fruit's own biology. The breakdown products of chlorophyll become fluorescent molecules, and they build up in the skin as the banana ripens. The more ripe the banana, the more catabolites, and that means a stronger glow under UV, that blue shine you see. It's literally the banana's molecular life cycle on display. A glowing farewell from chlorophyll as it finishes its job. And what's even cooler, that glow isn't just accidental. Plants might actually use it to signal ripeness. Not to us, but to animals. Because some animals, like certain birds and insects, can see into the ultraviolet spectrum. In a way, the banana might be saying, "Hey, I'm ready. Eat me. Spread my seeds." It's plant communication through glowing death. Now here's where it gets even more fascinating. That glowing signal, the banana's "eat me" message, is invisible to us. Our eyes simply can't see ultraviolet light, so without special tools, we miss the entire show. But many animals, especially those involved in seed dispersal like birds and insects, can see UV. To them, ripe fruit might look completely different from what we see. Where we see a yellow banana, they might see a glowing blue invitation. It's a reminder that color is subjective, not just emotionally, but biologically. What you see is not what a bee sees. What a monkey sees isn't what a snake sees. Our eyes are tuned to a narrow slice of the electromagnetic spectrum, and the world outside that slice is full of hidden patterns, codes, and signals. UV fluorescence is one of them. And in nature, it's surprisingly common. Scorpions glow under UV. Some flowers have ultraviolet patterns on their petals to guide pollinators, like glowing runways for bees. Certain bird feathers shimmer in UV even though they look plain to us. Some fish have fluorescent stripes that only show up in the deep ocean's filtered light. And now, we know that bananas join this secret glowing club. But let's zoom back in on those fluorescent catabolites in bananas. What's actually happening on a molecular level when they glow? Imagine a molecule like a spring. When it absorbs a photon of ultraviolet light, it gets pumped up. The energy makes it vibrate in a higher energy state. But it can't stay there. So it releases that extra energy in the form of light, usually at a longer wavelength. That shift from UV to visible blue light is what we call fluorescence. It's energy going in one form and coming out another. It's like charging a glow stick. You put in energy and get visible light in return. But instead of chemicals you crack, it's a natural process happening in biological molecules. Molecules created by a banana as it ages, as part of a process plants evolved over millions of years. And here's the crazy part. Scientists didn't even fully understand this banana glow until the 2000s. That's how subtle it is. You need a UV light, the right timing, and a ripe banana to see it. But once you do, you're staring at biochemistry in action. Nature's version of an internal light switch. Now that we know what causes the glow, let's explore just how powerful this discovery really is. Because fluorescent chlorophyll catabolites aren't just a fun banana party trick. They're also a tool. Scientists can use this glow as a natural marker to study plant aging, monitor ripeness, and even detect food quality without cutting anything open. Think of it like a built-in molecular flashlight. Instead of guessing whether a banana is ripe inside, you shine UV light on it, and the skin gives you the answer in glowing blue. This principle is already inspiring innovations in food tech. Imagine supermarket scanners that use UV to sort produce not just by color or size, but by chemical signature. Bananas wouldn't just be sold by weight, but by optimal ripeness backed by molecular evidence. No more guessing games, just clean glowing data. And this isn't science fiction. Researchers are already exploring UV-based tools for detecting spoilage, bruises, or contamination in fruits and vegetables. Things that the human eye misses but molecules reveal. But the influence of fluorescence goes far beyond bananas. The same fundamental principle, absorbing invisible energy and re-emitting it as visible light, is used in biology, medicine, and forensic science. Scientists use fluorescent markers to track cells in real time, making cancer cells literally glow under a microscope. Forensic teams use UV to spot otherwise invisible traces, from counterfeit bills to traces of blood. Even in space science, fluorescence helps detect organic compounds on other planets. All of it built on the same mechanism your banana peel quietly performs on your kitchen counter. And there's a poetic symmetry in that. Something as ordinary as a piece of fruit contains the same photonic principles used to probe the universe and save lives. Fluorescence is a bridge between light and matter, between invisibility and perception, between curiosity and understanding. And in bananas, it's just more visible. Once you see it, you realize there's a whole glowing world underneath the one we think we know. And sometimes all it takes to reveal it is a flashlight. So the next time you pick up a banana, pause for a second. You're not just holding a snack, you're holding a quiet, glowing story. A fruit that spent weeks absorbing sunlight, building chlorophyll, growing sugars, and preparing for a transformation. And when its job was done, it didn't just stop, it lit up. Not for you, but for birds, for insects, for the planet's natural system of signs and signals. A final glowing message. I'm ready. Come take me. Spread what's inside. And now you can see that glow too, if you know how to look. With nothing more than a UV flashlight and a little curiosity, you can reveal something invisible. You can witness biology crossing into physics and light becoming a language. And once you've seen that hidden blue glow, bananas never quite go back to being boring. They become fluorescent time capsules, tiny science experiments wrapped in a peel. But more importantly, they become a symbol, a reminder that science isn't just in textbooks or labs. It's hiding in your fruit bowl, on your skin, in the air around you. The universe is glowing with secrets, and sometimes all it takes is the right light to see them. If this sparked even a flicker of wonder, hit that like button, share this story with someone who thinks bananas are just for breakfast, and subscribe to How It Actually Works, the channel where invisible science becomes unmissable, and every ordinary object is a gateway to the extraordinary.